Alright, so Diana getting banned out from Abdullah because Abdullah is a Diana player, even though he's the jungler. They missed the ban. Okay. Okay, that ban is Soraka. And then Jack's banned back. So the Janna ban is definitely for Kyle, because Kyle is a big Janna player. And the Jax is definitely for Ethan, because Ethan plays a lot of Jax. Pretty standard target bans. This is what we like to see. Alright, Twitch ban. That's away from Colin. I know Colin plays a lot of Twitch. And Talon getting banned away from Enoch. I respect that because Talon's an annoying champion, and any player who's good at that champion is a big threat when put on Talon. So this is going to be the first pick for blue team. Should see some sort of high priority pick or some sort of comfort pick, I'd expect. Usually you pick a jungler, ADC, or support here. So maybe we could see something like... Okay, that's what we like to see. We love to see it. Love to see the Sejuani. That is one of my favorite first picks. Will we see the Jarvan responded back is the real question. Popular strategy here on red side is just to select your ADC and support and pick some sort of power pick. So if the red side bot lane was comfortable on something like Xayah Rakan, that would be strong. Ezreal Yumi would also be a strong bot lane, but we'll see what they end up locking in. Xayah, and it should be the Rakan to follow. I've never seen Colin play Xayah, but I have seen Modest play Rakan. Dude, these are... I'm loving these drafts. I'm loving these drafts so far. This is exactly what you love to see. So now typically the blue side will respond with a bot lane of their own. We could see something like Braum plus something else. We might see an Enchanter. There it is. That's a Zillion. Kyle's been practicing a lot of that, so we might just see Zillion Ashe. Yeah, so that's what these two played in the game, in the quick warm-up game that they played before this, so I'm not surprised to see it again. A pretty solid combo in lane. Kyle's been playing a lot of Zillion, as Zillion's a pretty underrated support. In an ideal world, I'm not sure if Kyle plays these champions or not, but something like... I know he has played Leona, but is probably very unpracticed on it as of recent. Something like Leona or Morgana could have been used as a counter there versus the Xayah Rakan. But I think Zillion Ashe works as well just fine, provided that he can land the double bombs to punish. And that's Nidalee being locked in for Abdullah. Interesting. I haven't seen Nidalee in a while, and we'll see how that kind of fits into their comp. In my mind, that means that they have to find some tankiness somewhere else, since Rakan isn't very tanky, and they don't have it in the jungle. So maybe Bowen will end up going out of something more tanky in the top lane. Something along those lines. Round 2 of bans. The Zed targeted away at Enoch. He's going to have to reach a little deeper into his pool, as he does mainly play those assassin-type picks. The Nico looking like it's going to be banned away from Uno. So mostly mid lane focus bans. Doesn't surprise me because the mid laners don't have very similar champion pools. So, you know, it's always a good thing to ban away champions from your enemy that won't affect your side at all. So I expect to see maybe an Akali ban here or something along those lines. Something away from Enoch again. Unless they want to ban something away from Cheese Whiskers. Sorry, Cheese Whiskers. I really said that. Away from Ethan. Pisces now. That's not his name anymore. Oh, and it looks like they might actually opt to ban the Akali themselves. No, now they're hovering with the Ahri ban, potentially. Alright, and now phase 2 of draft. Red team gets to give one of their solo laners the counter pick. We'll see which lane they decide on. This could be a top lane or a mid lane pick right here. I could see something like just locking in a comfort champion for Bowen, whatever that might be. Something that he's comfortable on in multiple different situations. And that's going to be Silas. I'm not sure who that's for. That might be for Bowen. That definitely strikes me as potentially a Bowen-type champion, and that does bring not necessarily tanky, but some survivability onto the side of the red team. And it is going to be the Akali lock-in for Enoch. And this is going to be the last pick. This is going to have to be a blind pick, presumably top laner, and it's looking like it's going to be Aurelia. Which Aurelia Sejuani is a pretty good combo, since you get to stack Sejuani up pretty quickly. And now it's going to be the last pick for red team. This could be a mid laner or a top laner, depending on where the Sylas is presumably going. They might be a little late on the decision. All right, that auto lock Lux. I don't think that's what they wanted. Oh, okay. So it is Lux. It seemed last second, so I wasn't sure if it auto-picked it. Lux is actually pretty solid there versus Akali. She can punish Akali pretty hard for trying to follow up on the Shuriken. No, okay. It looked like they were invading. It looks like the pings were to invade, but they're just going to 5-point instead. You'll love to see it. And a 5-point done effectively by the blue side and the red side. Bone was a little slow to get to his spot, but he found his way there. Kyle looking for a mana flow proc. Doesn't quite get it onto Modest. By the way, I'm going to try to use everyone's real names because I'd rather not call people by their game names because it's weird. So on the left side from top to bottom, we got Ethan, Connor, Enoch, Jake, and Kyle. And from the right side, top to bottom, we got Bowen, Abdullah, Annika, Colin, and Modest. See, I'm good with names. Any good leader would know the names of the people in his club. Come on. Come on. Aurelia can definitely abuse this matchup level 1. So Aurelia can abuse level 1 and 2, I'd say. So there's the level 2. He can look for a stun here. Not opting for it, just looking for a clean trade. Oh, but now that Bowen walked back up, Ethan can now get some auto attacks off. Wow, a very nice trade coming out from Ethan. That puts Bowen at a disadvantage. Yeah, unfortunately, Silas can't really do a whole lot to contend with Aurelia's early damage. Oh, this could be a kill right here. The stun landing. Oh, but Bowen turning it around, almost finding the kill himself. That is the strength of Time Warp Tonic on full display. Basically, Bowen would have died there if he wasn't actually taking Time Warp Tonic, but because he had it, he instantly got restored some of the health from Corrupting Potion. And that saved his life there. It acted as like a quick HP boost that actually ended up making Ethan almost commit a little too hard. And right now, Kyle and Jake are just dominating this bot lane versus Xayah Rakan. They're actually they're playing enough forward to where Xayah Rakan aren't able to abuse their strengths, and they're just kind of getting poked up before they can do much. Nice job by Modest, helping out Colin to grab the CS. Everything looking pretty standard so far. I should pull up the scoreboard. Let's see, scoreboard visible. And objective timers. Why the heck not? So already some CS leads coming out in most of the lanes for the blue team. Standard trading in top. Players seem very evenly matched up here. Ooh, but here comes Abdullah on the Nidalee. Didn't quite land the jump afterwards, but a late flash coming out from Ethan means that he will be dying for first blood. Going over to Nidalee. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, some trading going on. A level 3 all-in coming out. The flash forward from Soup88. I mean, Jake. Not quite going to find anything, though. Summoners used Xayah flash and heal, whereas the Ashe flash was used on the other side. It seems like they're at the very least pinging those summoners. I'm not sure if they're timing them or not. Enoch walking up with his jungler trying to find something. Abdullah landing a nice spear. A nice binding. Not quite doing the optimal Lux combo, but still a lot of damage. I only know the optimal Lux combo because I'm a Lux connoisseur. My ranked win rate on that champion is insane. Doing a good job of staying, yeah, honestly, Annika doing a great job of counteracting pretty much every offensive option from Enoch right now. He hasn't been able to find any strong early game trades that Akali is kind of known for. The binding has been there every time. And right now, Abdullah coming down for the gank, landing the spear, and the Rakan W coming afterwards. Of course, we know that this Ashe does not have flash. Kyle attempting to speed Jake up, but it isn't quite enough. And here's the counter gank from Connor, and the TP coming in from Ethan behind. Let's see if he can land a big stun. Only hits one, and he burned the Q onto Abdullah to guarantee the kill, and did not get a reset. So that is going to be where that play ends, at a 1-for-1. And now they're looking to potentially walk up and look for this Infernal Drake, but they can't really because Enoch is not in lane right now. And Ethan has to get back to top lane, so he's just going to hit that quick back. A good TP. Definitely could have led into a lot more, given different circumstances, but still definitely good awareness. The Q just barely missing to stop the back there. Pretty even buys for the ADC players. Definitely, you could argue could be shoving this bottom lane wave in right now, so that blue team lost a little bit of CS, but instead Ashe is going to get to lane in time to collect at least some of the CS. That cannon is going to fall, though. So now that does mean that after his TP bottom lane, Ethan is going to be a little behind in XP in that top lane, which gives Bowen a little bit more of a window of opportunity to kind of not just get bullied by Aurelia in this lane. And since he is 6 now, he can pose a little bit more of a threat to Aurelia. Of course, though, I would still argue that Sylas taking Aurelia ultimate is not very strong, since he can't actually utilize the passive that ultimate procs to give an extra dash like Aurelia could. Ooh, and they might have found Rakan in lane right here. Rakan landing a good E to escape. And also, I realized completely that I just cannot decide whether to call by champion names or real names. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna flip-flop because I can't do it. Nice 2 bombs coming out from Kyle. And a slow to top it all off, getting some good poke onto Xayah. Not going to follow up on the E, but not quite landing the auto attack to make it a completely worth it trade. So right now, ooh, the arrow coming through, that could be a kill. The double bomb to follow up, that is going to be a long stun onto the AD carry, and that is going to be a kill going over to Kyle. a great combination coming out from the Azillion. That's something that I didn't exactly consider. And another binding landing on. Man, Annika is on point with these bindings today. Sejuani just kind of chilling around mid, looking to go off towards her bot side to claim that red buff potentially. Looking to clear out some vision, good vision control. And right now the bot lane and blue side able to take some tower plates from the red side turret. Right now, Ethan trying to trade on to Bowen, not quite landing the stun though. Bowen smartly dodging it out with his E means that Ethan can't get too much out of the trade, and he actually ends up winning that considering he popped the bone plating off of Aurelia with that final Q. Getting some vision control in the top lane while the wave is in a relatively neutral state. The E landing means he can get some good damage. Bowen gonna trade back though. And all things considered, these have been pretty even trades. Bowen is now out of corrupting potion stacks now, and what that means is that I actually think that Ethan might have been able to find the kill there with the Aurelia burst, but it was more of a 50-50. So I respect not going for it. And here we have the gank coming out from the mid lane. A good flash barrier coming out from Lux, but she still appears to be very dead with 3 members of the blue team showing up. Ooh, a good, a smart Zillion ulti going off there, because if that Spirit gone even one step further, but Abdullah gonna find the kill onto Kyle, maybe not knowing quite how much damage the Nidalee can output. A good trade back kill. And now he could even be looking for one more. Enoch might be able to find this if he dodges it out. Yeah, he goes in, finds the auto attack. Doesn't quite land the Q, but he has another one. Now he could have actually walked forward there. Now Connor looking to pick up the kill himself, but Abdullah is just barely gonna escape. So what Enoch could have done there is he could have actually, instead of walking backwards to get the passive proc, he could have walked forwards and just chased down Abdullah, being able to find the kill. So a few costly mistakes there could have netted him an extra kill. Ooh, Jake's got to be careful here. Rakan looking for a play. I don't actually know if that W is going to land, but he did expend the flash anyways, just to be safe. Ooh, and that means that the Q cooldown is actually going to be down, and now Bowen going for the all-in onto Ethan. We got a nice little diamond shape made there by both of the ultimates going off, and that could be the kill. One more W and it'll close it out. And that's the flash W to close out the solo kill onto Ethan. And the ultimate coming out from Xayah, and then pulling the feathers back. That does mean that Kyle is going to go down. Abdullah just everywhere right now on the map, and a good setup coming out from Colin. Bowen getting some nice platings on this top turret right now. Really taking the fruits of his labor for being able to find that solo kill. And that's going to put him a solid 300 gold ahead with a lot in his inventory right now to spend. Really, the main gold lead coming out right now for the red team is shown in that top jungle area, whereas the rest of the lanes are winning pretty hard. The ultimate misses, the first proc of the ultimate misses from Enoch, but that is going to be almost a kill onto Abdullah, but he can't quite find the finishing hit. Nice flash auto attack, but he now has 3 members onto him, but his team is there to support him. We have the counter teleport coming out from Ethan. Let's see if they can find anything onto the red side. I think the play is just going to stop right there with 1 kill found. Good capitalization from Enoch, knowing his damage and knowing how to quickly get out, and that is going to allow them to now pressure this Infernal Drake, with red team not really having the vision necessary to counteract it. And that's going to be a very nice pickup for a team that might not necessarily scale as hard as Xayah, Rakan, and a Sylas. Man, these bindings, every time we go to mid lane, the binding hits. Ooh, NA cannon. So yeah, huge lead right here, cementing itself in the middle lane, coming out for Enoch. A huge lead for Abdullah still in the jungle, and a decent sized lead of about 300 gold in the top lane. There aren't really many leads being built in the bottom lane. There's like a very tiny gold disparity between the AD carries, but aside from that, it's pretty much even. It's close enough to where it doesn't matter given how costly AD carry items are, but man, so much damage going out of the Rakan. Can he barely escape? They can't catch him, and the Guardian going off means that now Kyle is going to die without popping his ultimate, and now Ethan finding the response solo kill onto Bowen, getting him back for that solo kill earlier, but Enoch showing up with a TP means that he will be able to trade kill, and a great play from Modest, turning last second onto the bottom lane of the blue side. Able to find his way out of that situation. Somehow the Guardian saving him last minute. And Enoch just seeming to be everywhere on the map with his presence right now. And now he might even be looking onto Abdullah. Isn't quite able to find anything though, and they go their separate ways. And a good recognition from Connor and Ethan that they can now go and take this Rift Herald and potentially use it top lane. They could actually go use it top lane right now just to find the first tower guaranteed. But holding onto it also isn't too bad of a play. Unfortunately, the Rift Herald is at, they are taking the Rift Herald late enough in the game to where they aren't able to cash in on turret platings using it. So really, what they're looking for at this point is just to claim a first turret for that extra gold, or potentially open up the game through the mid lane. Ooh, we have Modest behind Enoch. Can Enoch find his way out of the situation? The binding gonna get done. And wow, just completely CC'd down. A great coordination, a great roam coming out from Modest as well. So at this point, let's see what kind of items the players have been able to find for themselves. Enoch is, of course, at that Gunblade spike that Akali is so well known for. Ethan, a little behind on his Triforce since he opted for the Tiamat first, but now he might be getting jumped on by Abdullah if he sticks around a little too far up. And he is looking to trade at the bad time. The Spear doesn't quite land, and a good double stun, but he is going to fall regardless. Taken down. Right now, Connor sitting around the mid lane with this Rift Herald, potentially looking to make a play with it. It does look like the first turret is going to go down top lane, especially if they don't do anything soon with this Rift Herald. Is he using it in the mid lane right now? No, he's just waiting. That means that the first turret is just going to go over easily to the red team. And now they're looking for a play. Will the Sejuani ultimate come out? A Q ultimate wisely flashed away from Uno. And that is going to be the escape coming out. And now they have Sylas here to respond. Sylas with the Akali ultimate looking onto Sejuani. Held the E for a long time so that he would be able to follow up and finding the kill. Now we have Enoch getting closed in on. See if he can find any sort of counterplay. Just going to get himself out of there. The bottom lane for red team being brought very low by the poke bot lane. Oh, and Enoch about to face check Bowen. That does mean that Bowen is going to find himself another kill on the Sylas. Unsuspecting, just standing in that bush. If I'm being honest, I wouldn't have expected him to be standing in that bush if I was Enoch either. But good recognition by Bowen. And right now, this game is starting to look better and better for red team. They do have some pretty hard scaling picks on their team, and they're already sitting at 2k gold ahead. But really, one of the main things that you have to watch out for in these games, sometimes with uncoordinated play, the hardest thing isn't getting the lead, but it's actually knowing how to properly push it through macro. Right now they're looking to secure vision. A bomb going out onto Xayah. Properly splitting away so the bomb doesn't deal damage to both of them. Definitely being brought low, but we haven't seen any jungle pressure bot in quite a while. Right now just looking to shove out, potentially looking to back. Let's see how much gold they have in their inventories. He has 1,400. That would seem like it would be a good back timing. And right now they're looking to go in, but what they don't know is that Sejuani is right there. Let's see if they can find their way out of this. Colin does not have flash, so he might be in trouble. Modest actually going back in with the Rakan ultimate, stunning up the enemy team, and then still able to get out. Once again, escaping from the jaws of death with that Rakan ultimate, and this time saving his team along with it. He's got to be real careful around that dragon. That scares me. Finding not quite hitting. The E hitting from Akali, but going under tower there would probably be suicide. Now it looks like the players on each team are probably just going to look to reset. Zaya and Rakan backing together as they do. That's going to be a Zeal pickup and the Zerker Greaves for Colin. He's now starting to hit those sort of mid-game Zaya power spikes, but this could honestly be a kill for Akali. The TP having to be burned from Bowen, and that means that Enoch can just walk away with the resource found. But actually, the E lands from Silas. Going to find a little bit of damage. No sort of kill, though. He does have ultimate up, but isn't able to steal the Akali ultimate back for a few more minutes. Gonna have to steal the ult from someone else. And I didn't even realize how much I like the Silas pick here. He has 4 very strong Silas ultimates to steal. The Sejuani ult is known to be very good. Oh! Rakan finding Ashe, gonna have to burn the flash again. Not being greedy with it. But now potentially almost getting caught out by the Zaya. But not only can he steal the Sejuani ult, which is known as... I mean, Silas was counterpicked as a jungler into Sejuani for a little while. In part due to the fact that Silas... stealing Sejuani ult is so strong. But also he can steal the Ashe ult, the Zillion ult, and the Akali ult, all great ults. The Zillion ult going off, and now the red team is stuck under tower, and they have split, using the Zaya ultimate to counteract the Sejuani ultimate. But the Aurelia ultimate, huge, coming across the back line, and that's going to be 1 kill going over to Ethan, and 2 kills going over to Ethan. That's a double kill. Enoch going to look for the third onto Rakan, and now they see Silas. Is Enoch going to keep going? Not quite. They're just going to look to go onto the Dragon, and a huge TP play coming out from Ethan. And that's going to be the second Dragon of the game picked up going over to the blue side. This game is definitely looking a lot more even now. So the next Drake is going to be the Infernal Drake, and that's going to be a huge pivotal objective on the map here, because if the blue team is able to secure that for themselves, then that's going to be double Infernal on the board for them, which definitely helps them counteract some of the more scaling picks of the red team. Whereas if the red team grabs it for themselves, then they can completely negate the advantage that blue team had already picked up for themselves with the early Infernal Drake and kind of equalize that late game scaling. Looks like the blue buff being grabbed up by Sejuani. Doesn't need to give it over to the mid laner because it is Akali who uses energy rather than mana. It's not really a mana intensive pick. So we're now hitting the mid game. We're still... it's pretty strange that most of the lanes are still in the laning phase because no real pushes for turrets have been made. Both bottom lane turrets still up, though the blue side turret is pretty low. Right now, potentially Zaya Rakan looking for some sort of play, not able to find it. Just clearing out the vision instead. The blue side bot lane is pretty much playing in the dark. As far as vision goes, they just haven't been able to really step up and secure a vision lead. Wow, I just have to commend Connor, honestly, for that vision score. That is some insane 22-minute vision score, honestly. 45. I don't know what kind of vision clearing he's been doing in this game, but that is crazy. Oh, Bowen actually looking like he's going to take a Hextech Gunblade as the next item on Silas. That's very interesting. Annika having to expend the barrier there to make sure that she doesn't die to Enoch, but that now leaves her open for a potential all-in under tower for Enoch. And now Sejuani looking to go towards this bot lane. Looking to go in right now. Sejuani has the flank, landing the Q onto Zaya. Zaya quickly popping the ult. The ultimate from Sejuani not coming out yet. There it is, landing onto Rakan, but Rakan does have his E, and he's able to get away. The Zillion ultimate going on to Ashe. I believe that was a misclick. I understand it. I play Zillion. Happens all the time. And now Enoch actually behind. The red side has suspended most of their tools, and now Enoch is just here to clean up underneath the tower. Let's see if he can find Modest. No, he's not going to pressure it. Just going to let Modest escape, and right now they're going to look to trade this bot side turret for presumably the mid lane turret that Bowen and Abdullah are going on to. and just committing onto. So that's going to be a 1-for-1 turret trade. I say that it probably is in the red team's favor, given that mid lane is usually the harder to take and more pivotal turret in the game. And Abdullah going in, almost taking Enoch down. Enoch forced to flash to get away from that. The binding landing onto Ethan. He's able to get out just fine, though. And it looks like a lot of the blue side is just going to look for a reset right now. This is really scary for Ashe, sticking around this low on HP. Looking to make some sort of play, defending the control ward from Ethan. And let's watch lane assignments right now, because really what's most important here, and the biggest, like one of the big takeaways that players often don't consider as much, is that right now there's an entire wave dying top lane. No one is collecting this gold or XP from the red side. This wave is just dead. Same from the blue side. All of these minions are dying, and the golden XP is just going straight down the drain. They're getting nothing from it. So at least one member, preferably Bowen from the red side and Akali from the blue side, should be picking up those waves since they have TP. But now Enoch just gets full 5-manned. And that is extremely well-timed play from the red team, because the Infernal Drake just popped up. So now what that means is that the blue side can't actually do anything to respond to it. Enoch getting caught out a little too far without much vision to cover his bases. And it looks like blue side is making an extremely ballsy call to just go straight onto the Baron. The question is, does the red side know? Are they going to run up and try to respond? I don't think blue side can do this fast enough, and now red side is coming, and this could be a complete disaster. They're calling it off. That is definitely the correct play there. Some teams will just continue to go, but now red side is going to pick up the Baron from where they left off, already drained of its HP, and just going to look to take it for themselves. No, it looks like the Baron actually reset a little bit in the middle there, and this is a super scary situation. Now Enoch is TPing behind. The Ashe arrow followed up by the Aurelia ulti, landing Aurelia on the entire backside. And that is going to be a full team wipe from the blue side. A great flank coming out from Enoch. Great ultimate combination coming out from the Ashe and the Aurelia, and that means that they now can take this Baron completely free of charge, provided that they have the HP bars necessary. And a great team fight coming out from the blue side. That's definitely, when I looked at their draft, I saw them as having a good team fight. And this is getting really scary on the HP bars. Connor might actually die to Baron right there. Barely escaping. He had like 1 HP or something. And now Kyle has to be careful as well. That was a close one, but they ended up picking it up without anyone dying. Enoch definitely should have been helping his team with that Baron, but I respect getting the mid lane shoving as well. It was a high risk, high reward play, because he does end up taking that mid tower in response because of it. So it's really, I think the burden is really going to be on Xayah to dish out a lot of the damage here for the red side, considering that you see the Wit's End and the Merc Treads coming out from the Aurelia. You see the Merc Treads and the Abyssal Mask coming out from Sejuani. You see, and those are your main tanks who have already just been stacking magic resist to try to counteract the Sylas, the Lux, and the Nidalee, who are, the Sylas and the Nidalee are definitely the 2 biggest threats on that red side. And right now it looks like the blue side is going to opt to spread their Baron across the map and look to use it to find some towers. But that is going to be the Gunblade, and that's just going to be a quick kill. Abdullah not walking up a little too far and expending his pounce just as Enoch walked up. Unfortunate death for him, and that's going to mean that the red side is going to have to play back. And now Ethan going in for the 1v2. That is going to be the stun landing. He did not reset his Q, though, which means he's just going to have to try to auto death here. And the W not quite going to find the kill. He's still looking for it. The Q is going to come through, and that's going to be a double kill coming out from Ethan. And that means that there's a huge 3-player advantage on the map right now for a Baroned up blue side, which means that they can pretty much just take anything they want. But now red side looking for a response play, and that is going to be the kill probably found onto Ethan. Good job just kind of sacrificing what they know they have to sacrifice and trying to at least play some damage control. A good pick found by Bowen and Modest. And now, wow, Enoch just pretty much one-shot Modest. Now he's in the base, should get picked off here by Abdullah, but honestly, it's too late because the blue side has taken not one but 2 inhibitor towers, opening up 2 inhibitors, and that's just a huge gold swing off of that Baron power play. The gold now 6k in the favor of the blue side, and they pretty much are in the driver's seat of this game right now. They just need to figure out how to close it out, whether that be one more good pick, and right now Bowen is walking into their team, but they won't quite see him. Bowen playing it smart, trying to pick off, and he did it perfectly to where only one member of the blue side is caught, hitting the bomb plant and knocking Sejuani into his team. Sejuani turning around with the ult means that she probably will escape, but honestly a great attempt by Bowen there. Both teams just resetting. The Baron timer is at 3 minutes, so pro tip, once the Baron timer hits 2 minutes and 30 seconds, that is exactly when the Baron ends on the enemy team. So they won't be able to make another play with that Baron given that it ends in 20 seconds. But overall, a good power play, and now they just have to figure out how to close it out from here. The Ocean Drake spawning in 30 seconds, but I would say that that's actually not a very high priority for them. Right now they're just letting some of their carries get the resets off. We do now have a death cap onto Enoch, onto that Akali. Looking for a pick onto Rakan. Rakan smartly escaping though. And that's just going to be a solo kill. Ethan is too strong at this point in the game to be contested, and he might even be able to 1v2 here. The double stun landing means that he can quickly get onto the Xayah, and he is able to find the kill onto the Xayah right as those feathers come back, and now he's going to look for the kill onto the Rakan. A triple kill coming out for the Aurelia, and he is just so deep in the base. His team is split from him, but it doesn't really matter, and now he's just dashing around the minions, finding the stun onto... that is going to be another kill, and now he might even be able to find the unofficial Penta onto Lux. This Aurelia is just too strong, and that is going to be the unofficial Penta kill coming out from Ethan, aka Pisces. And that should mean that the blue team can close this game out very swiftly. And that is going to be presumably the end of game 1. It doesn't look like the respawn timers are going to come up in time. The blue team is just going to march into the red team base and hit down these towers. Ethan might even die here. Yeah, there's not much that Bowen can do. Grabs the Akali ultimate, looks to go in on Zilean, but it isn't quite enough as long as they focus the Nexus. Zilean does go down without using his ultimate, given that he was CC'd, but it just does not matter. Aurelia is too strong, 15-4 after a rough start to this game. And game 1 goes to the blue side. Now I'm going to leave it on the victory screen. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to disable my stream. No, what should I do here?